Good morning, woohoo! Yes. Happy Tuesday, everyone. How is your Tuesday morning going? I'm indoors again. The door is open, but it's really brisk, and I have my coffee in hand. And you guys, I want to say thank you so much for sticking it out to join these Tuesday live classes. I think that some of you come back and do them later. I know some of you have told me that you do that. Continue to engage and comment below, like, I did this class and this is how it served me, or like just something simple like great class, or that was tougher than I thought it would be. And then I can think about it, and I can kind of, you know, if I call it an easy flow, and it's hard because I forget sometimes that I'm more advanced than where I think I am, then, you know, I can adjust. But yeah, Thursday we're gonna have yoga at Yountville Park. They're pretty sticklers, I think, on like, you know, what goes and what doesn't in the town of Yountville. So for all of you Napa people who wants to join, I just want to say, like, RSVP please, because I need to know if you're coming. First of all, like, am I gonna show up? I don't want to show up if you guys aren't gonna be there. And then if you are, like, I just kind of want to set it up where it's like not in the way of anyone else, right? So with that being said, today we're just going to open up the body. We're going to move through our mat. Our mat is our universe. We got 4 corners, and we're going to let it guide us. Does that sound good? So I'm sitting on a pillow, and this is for my hips to be a little bit higher than my knees. Now, while they're almost like pretty even, at least my knees aren't like super higher, and then it's making me tuck under with my tail tucked underneath. So what it's doing, it's helping me recline forward. And then if I wanted to, I can untuck this leg and then watch what happens. Like, now my knees are lower, my hips are higher, and I'm in this like nice stand up seated position where my torso is stacking on top of my hips. So that's the whole idea, so that we can have an upward seated Sukhasana, or most comfortable seated position. This is supposed to be comfortable. So if you have blocks to support your knees because you need that and you want that, no shame, especially because you're at home, right? So just do that to support yourself. Also, if you want your hips to be a little bit higher, like if I wanted to, I could just reach over to my couch, because that's what I'm doing today. I have a blanket, and you know, you just use like whatever. I could stack another pillow, and then I'm gonna sit right on it, kind of like in the middle toward the edge. And then, did you see that? Like, see how my hips just like automatically, they're right here. It's kind of like tucked under, and then I'm gonna rotate forward. Now, I don't wanna have like a super back bend, right? This isn't a back bend, this is a sitting position. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna find the strength of our core to bring us to this most comfortable seated squat. Technically, this is where I should be, but I was comfortable in the other one too. It just takes effort, you guys. Everything you do and everything you don't do takes effort to not do. Takes effort to get done. So I'm gonna take a sip of coffee. And we're gonna get right into it. I'm so excited today. Happy Tuesday. I want to invite you to close your eyes wherever you are. I want to invite you to gaze at that space in between your eyebrows, right here, right in the center, where clarity and wisdom meets. I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope that you were able to get your hands on some kind of traditional, delicious American food. I know some cultures still celebrated Thanksgiving with delicious tamales and, you know, other things. I know Hanukkah is around the corner. I'm not sure when Kwanzaa is, but maybe for Hanukkah I'll light up some candles. But for now, I just want to invite you to continue that trend of being grateful for what you do have. Don't focus on what you wish you had. Focus on what you do have. You have a home, the big ones. You have maybe transportation, you have food, you have loved ones. You're never ever alone. People who think they're alone, they're never alone. If they can just tap on someone's shoulder, they're there for them. If you ever need to talk to someone and you don't have anyone, I want to invite you to feel the courage and the strength to shoot me a message like, hey, I think I don't know you, or hey, it's been a while. Do you have a few minutes? Is this a good time? Think about the love that surrounds us during the COVID season. Think about the unity that's brought to humanity while we're all social distancing, while we're all trying to stay away from each other. I think one of the things that we learned most is that we can't live without each other. We're gasping to get out the doors, to go and get together with friends without getting in trouble. Growing up in the Hispanic culture, that was something that was so pierced in my memories. When I came to this land is when I really noticed it. When you enter a room, you greet everybody. When you leave a room, you want to start saying your goodbyes about an hour before you take off. Sometimes two, depending on the gathering. And with that being said, you guys, keeping in thought, keeping mindful of the things that we do have, the warmth of a shower, that's such a big one. The warmth of a shower. I want to invite you to float your hands to your heart center. As we open this class, bowing your chin to your chest in gratitude. Really feeling the connect between your fingers and your palms to each other. Releasing your hands back down to your knees. Joining the thumbs and the index fingers. With an inhale, drawing your belly button forward toward me for you guys. And then as you exhale, draw your belly button in toward you and toward your spine. Go ahead and inhale, draw the belly button out. Allow the belly to expand as you relax the shoulders. Exhale the belly button back toward you. Hug it in toward your tummy. Inhale the breath through your nose into your low belly. And then exhale one more time, belly to spine. On your following inhale, allow the belly button to expand, all four corners of the stomach. Rise the breath up your lower ribs. Pause right there. Exhale the breath, ribs hugging your organs, belly to spine. Let's take that again. Inhale through your nose. Draw the belly out. Expand the ribs. Exhale the ribs and belly. We'll take that 2 more rounds, you guys. Inhale the belly through your nose. Expand the ribs. Exhale ribs and then belly. Last one. Inhale through your nose into your low belly. Up the ribs. Exhale ribs. Exhale belly. Now we're going to take it in toward our chest. Full inhale through your nose into your low belly. Up the ribs and chest. Lift the torso, tuck the chin slightly to find a long neck. Exhale the chest, relax the shoulders. Exhale the ribs. Exhale the belly button. Keep your torso lifted. Inhale through your nose, into your low belly, up the ribs and chest. Exhale the chest, unclench the jaw, the ribs, and then the belly. 3 more rounds. Inhale through your nose, into your belly and ribs, then chest. Exhale chest, ribs, and belly. 2 more. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest. Exhale chest, ribs, and belly. 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. I'm going to release you into your own for a few rounds. Take it at your own pace. Bring the gaze back to that space in between your eyebrows. As you gently follow through with your breath throughout your practice, see if you can practice your 3-part breathing, short breaths or long breaths. I want to invite you to blink softly, open your eyes, and keep a soft gaze, gazing at the floor. We're going to round our chin over to our left. Go ahead and come back through center, and then go over to the right. Come back through center, over to the left. And once more, through center, over to the right. Come back through center. Your chin is at your chest. Go ahead and lift it up. And then go ahead and tilt it backwards as far as you can. Don't go too far. Go ahead and round the back of your head as you exhale through your mouth, inhale through your nose. And then we're going to go ahead and round the back of our head over to the left. Release the opposite shoulder, round it through center and over to the right side. Keep breathing. Come back through center, over to the left. And back through center and over to the right. Come back through center. And then gently as you inhale, pick yourself up. Go ahead and extend your legs out in front of you. Give them a little shake. And then wherever you are, go ahead and forward fold, bringing your belly over towards your thighs. Go ahead and tuck your chin just slightly. Find a long neck. Grab onto your shins as your toes face the sky. I like pressing through the balls of my feet into Barbie toes. So now your toes are almost like looking at you. Grabbing onto your shins, go ahead and bend at your elbows, pull yourself forward and down. Keep your chin slightly tucked, lead with your heart. Spider fingers. Go ahead and walk yourself back up through center. I am sliding like nobody's business. Let me remove all of this. If you are comfortable where you are, definitely stay. If you're not, then remove the stuff from underneath your sit bones. You can remove the flesh away. And we're gonna come back here, grabbing onto my shins or ankles, keeping my chin slightly tucked. If available to you, you can grab from the outer edges of your feet, pull yourself forward even a little bit deeper. Gaze at your big toes. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, hinge forward even deeper. Just really opening up the low back here, backs of the legs. And then go ahead and walk yourself back up to your center. Open up your legs into a rhombus or a diamond pose. Grabbing your elbows, pressing them down toward your legs, grabbing onto your ankles, just above your ankles and shins. Go ahead and pull yourself up to a tall torso, keeping that chin slightly tucked for a long neck. Go ahead and lead with your heart as you press your chest forward through your legs, through your arms. Opening up the hips, outer edges of the legs, opening up your heart. On your exhale, lift your torso. Reach through the crown of your head over above you. And then as you exhale, continue to hinge forward and deeper. On your following inhale, rise back up to seated center. And then go ahead and bend at one knee over to the side and behind you with your foot. The opposite leg becomes extended. If this is too much strain, just go ahead and open it up into a V. But if you can do this, or you could just keep it, like a little bit more open, bringing your heel toward your gluteus maximus. Go ahead and find this upward seated position. I like to untuck the flesh from underneath my sit bones. And then I'm just gonna lean forward and down. I'm gonna walk myself through my spider fingers, but my toes are active and I'm kicking through the back of my heel. Hinging forward and down, leading with my heart. Not allowing your leg to just kind of open, really rotating it in toward midline, keeping it nice and active, you guys. Stick with it. Come back to your breath. Go ahead and walk yourself back up to center. Bend that same knee to come and meet the thigh. Come to the opposite side, to your whole left side body here. Plant your hands onto the mat, bending at your elbows, coming forward and down. You're going to feel a twisting of the spine and then a beautiful stretch down your opposite side hip. When you're following, inhale, rise back up to center. We're going to take it the other side. So we're going to either extend both of the legs and then lean to the opposite side. Or if we can, we're going to bend at the knee. I like to lift it up and resit my sit bone. And now I'm going to grab onto my shin. Toes are active. And then I'm going to continue to rotate that extended leg in toward midline. I don't want it to like fall asleep. And then I'm going to lead with my heart, coming forward and down, hinging at my hips. Grabbing onto your shin or top of your ankle here. Either or. Tuck your chin just slightly to find a long neck. We're going to flow through some vinyasas here in just a moment. Stick with it. Then go ahead and walk yourself up. Bend that same leg into your opposite thigh. Come to the opposite side of your body. Plant your hands onto the mat. And then bend at your elbows as you come forward and down. Oh my goodness. Let go of any muscles that you're holding onto really tight. This is a great time to breathe through it. As you exhale, release the pain. One more breath. Inhale, rise yourself up to center. All right, let's go ahead and come to the top of our mat. Top of the mat, finding a micro bend at the knees. We're gonna inhale, arms all the way around and up, palms meet one another, bring it down to your heart center, Pranayama. Inhale your arms around and up. Interlace your fingers, pull yourself over to the right. Pull yourself over to the left. Switch the lace of the fingers over to the right. Quick movements over to the left. Palms meet one another, bring it down to your heart center as you kick forward. Folding forward and down. Tuck your chin toward your chest. Step your right foot back. Runner's lunge. Inhale your torso up. Exhale, coming forward and down as you plant your hands onto the mat. Step your left foot back. Top of a plank, press and kick through your heels here. Engage your core. Release your knees onto the mat. Tops of your feet come together. Heels meet one another. Bend at your elbows. Hug them towards your ribs. Lead with your heart forward and down. Inhale up for a baby cobra. Draw your shoulders back. Exhale to your child's pose. Don't get too comfortable here. Roll up through a tabletop. Shoulders above the wrists, hips above the knees. Opening them up to your hip width distance. Spread your fingers wide, middle fingers facing forward. Curl your toes under. Lift your knees. Press your shoulders away from the earth. You're coming back to a top of a plank. Now bend your knees super deep as you press your shoulders away from the earth, lifting your hips toward the sky. Now begin to lengthen through the legs as you come into your first downward facing dog. Roll your shoulders out. Press your belly button back towards your spine. Lift the hips a little bit higher as you press your shoulders away from the earth a little bit further. Take a breath here. This is a resting pose. If you ever want to come back to it, feel free. Looking up at your hands, step your right foot forward for a runner's lunge. Inhale, your torso all the way up with your arms if you can. And then go ahead and come back. Plant your hands onto the mat. Step your left foot forward, about 2 fists distance in between your feet. Outer edges of your feet are parallel to the outer edges of the mat. You're slightly pigeon-toed. Now bend your knees. Rest your torso on your thighs. Tuck your chin toward your chest. And then go ahead and release the neck. Release the arms. Crown of the head is reaching toward the earth. Take several inhales here. If you want to interlace the arms, go ahead and do so. Maybe sway side to side. This is one of my favorite poses to release the back. People who work in any industry that are standing for long periods of time, you can always run to the bathroom and do this for about 5 breaths. You'll feel the release of your low back. If you have low back pain, bending at the knees really helps with that. If you want and you are more capable, you can lengthen the legs a little bit more. And then again, you can interlace the arms. Now release the arms, shake out some nose with your head and neck. Shake out some yeses. Go ahead and plant your hands onto your hips, keeping your chin tucked. Begin to roll yourself out vertebrae by vertebrae up to standing. Your head is going to be the last thing that comes up. Keeping a micro bend at the knees. Go ahead and inhale your arms all the way around and up. Palms meet one another. Bring it down to your heart center, Pranamasana. Keep those knees slightly bent. Inhale your arms around and up. Interlace the fingers. Go ahead and pull yourself over to the right side. Through center as you inhale. Go ahead and exhale. Pull yourself over to the left side. Come back through center. Switch the lace of the fingers one more time over to the right side. Inhale through center. Exhale to the left side. Inhale back to center. Release your palms by your sides and go ahead and just shake them out. Release. Close your eyes here for a moment. Maybe just take into account where you are and how you're feeling since you've arrived to class. Scanning the body. From your feet up the knees. Up the hips. Scan the body as you are rising it higher and higher. Keep breathing through your nose, into your low belly, up the ribs and chest. Exhale, chest, ribs, and belly. Really engaging that core action. In the standing Tadasana, you want to draw your calves in toward midline. You want to draw your thighs out away from midline. Pulling your pelvic muscles up toward your belly button. Relaxing the shoulders, lifting the torso without bending at the spine. Keeping your chin slightly tucked so that it is parallel to the earth. Reaching through the crown of your head up toward the sky, rooting all of your toes into the ground for your most strongest Tadasana mountain pose. On your following inhale, slightly bend at your knees, blink softly, open your eyes. Open your arms all the way around and up. Interlace your fingers and then go ahead and fold them upward so that the palms of your hands are facing the sky. Go ahead and just move your head as you look at your fingers. Go ahead and draw your hands to your heart center as you come forward and down. Plant your hands onto the mat. Step your left foot back for a runner's lunge. Plant your hands onto the mat one more time as you step your right foot back, top of a plank. Roll your feet over to the right side. Press your shoulders away from the earth here. If available to you, you can lift your hips and open your left arm up for a sidearm balance, gazing at your thumb. If available to you, you can grab onto your top foot and open it up. Now go ahead and bring both of your hands down onto the mat, and that top foot, so in this case your left foot, go ahead and walk it through the opposite side body. Rotate the back foot down to the inner part of it, and then open the right arm up. Go ahead and bring it down. Come back to the ball of your back foot. Step the left foot back, top of a plank. Go ahead and release your knees onto the mat. Bend at your elbows, come forward and down. Inhale up for cobra, and then exhale to your child's pose. Inhale up through your tabletop. Curl your toes under, top of a plank. Press your hips up and back for your downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg up for three-legged dog. And if available to you, bend your knee, stack your hips, and open that leg to the right side body. Go ahead and bring it back down. And step that left foot forward in between your hands. Right foot comes to a 45-degree angle. Grab onto your hips, lift your torso. Right hip pulls forward, left hip pulls back so that your hips are squared to the front edge of the mat. And if available to you, you can keep your hands here at your hips, or you can open them up straight up for a warrior one. Go ahead and circle your arms behind you as you come forward and down, pressing your chest inside of your leg. And then step your hands onto the mat. Step that left foot back, top of a plank. Coming forward and down, releasing your knees down. Come back for your chaturanga, tops of the feet are on the mat, heels together. Draw your shoulders back, lift your torso. For cobra, exhale. Press your hips towards your heels for child's pose. Inhale up through a tabletop. Then curl your toes under. And we're gonna roll over to the opposite side. So we're gonna roll over to the left, pressing your shoulders away from the earth, lifting your right arm up, lift your hips. If available to you, keep lifting your hips up toward the sky, and then grab onto your top foot. Gaze at something that's not moving and open that leg. Just a little bit of a challenge. Bring it in towards your heart. Both of your hands are on the mat. And step it through the opposite side across your body. Bottom foot or back foot comes to the inside of it, to the inner sole, and then your left arm opens up toward the sky. Gaze at your thumb. Keep breathing here. As you exhale, bring it back down. And step your right foot back for top of a plank. Press your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. And then go ahead and inhale that right leg up for three-legged dog. And then go ahead and bend at the knee and stack the hips over to the left side body. When you're following, inhale, bring it back through center and step that right foot forward. Back foot comes to a 45-degree angle. Lifting your torso. Pulling your left hip forward, right hip back. Press through the back of your knee as if someone's pulling a string out of it so that your leg becomes super straight. You can keep your hands at your hips, or if available to you, inhale your arms up straight toward the sky, palms facing each other for your warrior one. If there's a back bend, which is really normal right now happening, go ahead and draw your belly button back towards your spine, lift the torso, and then go ahead and deepen into the front knee. Open it up just a little bit more. Beautiful. Circle your arms back behind you. And then lead with your heart as you draw your chest inside your front thigh. And then go ahead and step your hands onto the mat as you step that right foot back, top of a plank. Release your knees onto the mat. Tops of the feet come together. Come forward and down. Inhale up for cobra, draw your shoulders back. Exhale through child's pose. Come up through your tabletop. And then go ahead and here, just do a couple of rounds of cat-cow. So drop the belly, look up, hips toward the sky. As you exhale, tuck your tail, chin to chest, round your back. Press your shoulders away from the earth. Drop the belly. Inhale, look up. And then exhale, chin toward chest. Tuck the tail. Go ahead and come back to a neutral spine. Curl your toes under. Come up to a top of a plank. And then as you exhale, go ahead and lift your right leg up. See if you can do this. If you cannot do this, go through a normal chaturanga, which is like where you see if you can challenge yourself to just come forward and down. But if you can give it a little bit of a deeper challenge, we're on top of a plank here. We're gonna lift our right leg up, and then we're gonna come forward and down. Inhale up for cobra. And then exhale, both your feet for a downward facing dog. Go ahead and come back through a top of a plank. We're gonna do it on the other side, so left leg comes up. Exhale, bend your elbows, come forward and down. Inhale up for cobra. And then go ahead and muster the strength to come to your downward facing dog. So that was a challenge. Come back through top of a plank. We're gonna do the same thing, but with a knee down, and see how that serves us. So we're gonna release one knee down, the left knee comes down, top of the foot is on the mat, right leg is extended behind us, and we're gonna come forward and down, and then inhale up for cobra, and exhale through child's pose, and then come back through a tabletop. Come back, bring your right knee down, and then we are going to extend the left leg out, come forward and down, inhale up for cobra, and then exhale through child's pose. Come up through a tabletop. Go ahead and bring your left knee outside your left hand, and then walk your foot over to the right hand. And then I like to scoot my right leg just a step back. You can stay right here. You can look behind you and just ensure that your leg behind you is nice and straight. I like to hold on to my ankle, my leg, and I like to challenge myself to come up a little bit higher with my torso before I forward fold over that leg. You can stay right here on your forearms, or you can bring your chest all the way down. Wherever you meet today is right where you're meant to be. Take a couple of breaths here. Your following inhale, go ahead and rise yourself back up. Taking this one step further, just a challenge, you can stay right here or go ahead and meet me into child's pose. For some people who can do this, you can bend the back leg that's already folded. Reach with your arm over to the back side, giving your thigh just a little bit of a deeper stretch. Actually, it's the same side. So the same side of the extended leg, you want to reach back. So my right leg was the one that's extended. I'm going to reach back behind me with my right arm. And then go ahead and set it down. For those that could do it, go ahead and step that left foot back, top of a plank. For those that were in child's pose, go ahead and come up to top of a plank. And then we're just gonna walk our right knee over to the right hand and our foot over to the left hand. Set the knee down and then walk that leg back about a step if you can, if you want. Top of the foot comes on the mat. Look behind you, make sure your leg is straight. And then again, I like to hold on to my ankle and my leg just to come up for like a breath. And then forward fold. You can stay on your forearms. If you have blocks, you can bring the earth higher toward you, or you can come down onto your chest wherever you meet. Also, each side is different, so maybe on this side you can come to your chest, maybe on the other side you couldn't. The idea is that you are opening up both sides wherever they meet. And you're following. Inhale, go ahead and rise back up. The same side of the extended leg can fold at the knee, and you can reach with your arm behind you, or you can meet us at child's pose. On your following inhale, go ahead and come back to a tabletop. Ooh. Go ahead and inhale, drop the belly, look up. And then go ahead and exhale, sink both your hips over to the left side. Gazing at your hands, go ahead and inhale, come up through your tabletop. Inhale, drop the belly, look up. And then as you exhale and you curl your back, drop your hips over to the right side. Gaze at your thumbs. Go ahead and inhale, come up, and walk your knees in through your hands. Fold your legs over to the left side. Drop your hips on the mat. Circle your feet forward. And we're going to balance onto our low sacrum, like sit bones area. So bring your hands behind your thighs, knees. Engage your belly button back. Lift the torso. Lift the legs up. Press through the balls of your feet into Barbie toes. If available to you, as you inhale, lift your torso, bring your arms out by your sides. As you breathe, keep your torso lifted. For a challenge, we're going to grab just 2 fingers, peace fingers. Grab the backs of your thighs right here and go ahead and tap your toes for 1. Lift the torso, tap them 2. Keep your torso lifted, tap 3. And then release the soles of your feet on the mat. Go ahead and just hug yourself here. Rest the eyeballs inside of your knees or forehead, either or. Give yourself a little grace. Go ahead and inhale, come up. Grab the backs of your legs, lift your torso, come up with your legs here, with your feet. Go ahead and point your toes, arch the soles of your feet as much as you can. If it starts to cramp, let it happen. Just work through the pain here. Keep arching your toes, point your toes. Sorry, keep arching your feet, point your toes. Beautiful. And then go ahead and press through your Barbie toes. Press through the balls of your feet. Just hold it here for several breaths. This is going to build a lot of hip strength. You want that to have a stronger low back, which is what a lot of people struggle with. So we're going to tap our toes again for 3, tap them out for 2, and tap them out for 1. Lift your legs. You can come down and give yourself a hug like we did a second ago. If you want a deeper challenge, you can grab the outer edges of your feet, and then you can extend through the legs, keeping your torso nice and lifted. Point your toes here. Keep holding on. Reach a little higher. And then exhale, bring it down. Release it, let it all go. We're gonna come down to our back. And we're going to windshield wipe our legs here. So your knees are bent, soles of the feet are on the mat, and you're going to go left with both your knees. Allow gravity to do the work. Go ahead and look over your right shoulder. Come up through center. Allow both your knees to go over to the right side. Allow gravity to draw you toward Mother Earth as you gaze over your left shoulder. Take a breath. We're gonna go over to the center, and now we're gonna go in with both of our knees. Just rest here for a breath. And then go ahead and come back with your toes, tiptoe walk them. And then go ahead and extend your legs to opposite corners, or not opposite, but to the corners of your mat. Bringing your arms by your sides for a quick Shavasana. Palms facing the sky, relax the ankles, the knees, the hips, the shoulders, and the elbows. Take another breath. Allow everything to melt for a few more moments. And you're following, inhale, drawing the breath back into your belly. Maybe stretching your arms over above you like that morning sunrise. Bending at your knees and coming onto your fetal pose on one of the sides. Taking this time to thank yourself for showing up, giving your body the maintenance it requires of you. Keeping your eyes closed as much as possible. You can stay there or you can meet me at your most comfortable seated Sukhasana. Simply sitting and feeling how you're feeling now from the time that you started. Taking this peace with you, taking the stillness. Come back to the sound of your breath, come back to your 3-part breathing. It's easier said than done, but I know you can do it. So anytime that you remember today about your breath, go ahead and come back to that 3-part breathing. Bring the breath into your belly, up the ribs and chest. Exhale, chest, ribs, and belly. Drawing your hands to your heart center, bowing your chin to your chest in gratitude. I want to thank you so much for letting me guide you through this practice of yoga today, where we open the body, where we clear and open the mind. Ever so gently, coming back to your center, releasing the palms back down to your knees. I hope to see you on Thursday at the park. Remember to RSVP through a message or on the comments below. Namaste. You can blink softly, open your eyes. Good job. Thank you guys. That was amazing. I know it felt really good in my body. If you have any questions, comment below, and I'm gonna upload this on YouTube at Ms. Ruba, MIZRUBA. And yeah, I'll see you guys next Tuesday. If you're coming to the park on Thursday, see you then. Bye. Thanks for joining, you guys. Wow, there's so many people that came on. Thank you.